Welcome back, dears. So, till now, we came to know that the child was in a trouble and he is unable to sit in the school and he just ran away from the school and he reached the railway station. Now, we can see the third part in detail. What happened after he reached the railway station? There was a shade giving tree beside the railway tracks. I sat under it and wondered whether there could possibly be a more fortunate child than me in this world. When the coins had first created a racket in my pocket, the entire matter seemed so simple and straightforward. Eat jalebis with the fees money and then pay the fees with the scholarship money. I thought that 2 and 2 added up to 4 and could never be 5. How was I to know that sometimes it added up to 5 as well? Had I known that I would get the scholarship the next month, I would have postponed my jalebi eating program to the next month as well. Now, for the crime of eating a few jalebis for the first time in my life, I was absent from school and crouching in the shade of a tree in a deserted corner of the railway station. Sitting there under the tree, at first I felt like crying. In this paragraph, we can see that the child is feeling pity for the thing committed by him. He's thinking that if he hasn't obeyed, if he hasn't given importance to the sounds, or if he hasn't given importance to his desire for eating jalebis, he would not be in a trouble. Only because of his greediness or because of his desire for jalebi eating, he is now in a pitiful situation, and now for the first time in his life he is absent from the school. He actually bunked from the school and he is just sitting under the shade of a tree in a deserted corner of a railway station. And first of all, when he was sitting over there, what he was feeling like crying. So now the child is in a state of crying, and now we can see what happened to the child afterwards. Then I felt like laughing when it struck me that the tears I was shedding were not tears but drops of jalebi syrup. From the jalebis, my thoughts went to the feast, and from feast to Master Ghulam Muhammad's cane, and from his cane I thought of God. I closed my eyes and began to pray. So now, really, the child is in a bumfuzzle situation. He doesn't know what to do now, and actually, he was feeling that even if he's crying, the tears are actually like the jalebi syrup. His stomach is totally packed with jalebis, and from the thoughts of jalebis, immediately his thoughts went to the feast, and from the feast, it went to Master Ghulam Muhammad's cane, and with what Master Ghulam punished the kids with his cane. So now he is totally afraid of the punishment that is to be given by Master Ghulam Muhammad. And in order to survive all these consequences, what he has to do, only one thing he can do now, that is, he can only do the prayer, and he is just closing his eyes and praying to God. Allah Mia, I'm a very good boy. I have memorized the entire namas. I even know the last 10 surahs of the Quran by heart. If you wish, I can recite the entire Ayat al Kursi for you just now. The need of a devoted servant is only the fees money that I ate the jalebis with. So, alright, I admit I made a mistake. I didn't eat them all by myself, though I fed them to a whole lot of children too. But yes, it was a mistake. So here he is just showing his actual devotion to God Almighty. He is just showing his all talents. He is saying that he is a very good boy. He has memorized the entire namas, and he has learned many slogans in Qurans, and he is a very devoted servant. And for this devoted servant, what God has to do, God have to just pay his fees. God has to just give him 4 rupees so that he can pay the fees. And he is admitting that he made a mistake, but he didn't made a very big mistake, because he hasn't eaten everything all alone. He has even shared with a lot of children. If I would not, the scholarship money would be given next month, I would neither have eaten them nor fed them to the others. Now you do one thing, just put 4 rupees in my bag. If there is a paisa more than 4 rupees, I'll be very displeased with you. I promise if I ever eat sweets with my fees money again, then let a thief's punishment be my punishment. So Allah Mia, just this once help me out. There is no shortage of anything in your treasury. Even your chaprasi takes a whole lot of money home every month, and an allergy. After all, I am the nephew of a big officer. Won't you give me just 4 rupees? So here we can see just an imaginary conversation between the child and God. He is just imagining that he is just showcasing all his innocence to God, and he is telling that only this time you have to help me out. I have done all the prayers for you and I'm always a good child, and for this sake what you have to do now, you just have to give me 4 rupees, and I promise that with this 4 rupees or in my entire life I will never ever eat jalebis with the feast money. And if I am doing so, what you have to do, you can give me the biggest punishment in this world. And if you're giving more than 4 rupees, if there is a paisa more than 4 rupees, I'll not be happy. And he's again making a clear statement that even in your treasury nothing is there is a shortage of nothing. And even your chaprasi takes a lot of money every day or every month, and I'm just asking you for just 4 rupees, and please give me this 4 rupees. After the prayer, I offered namaz, recited 10 surahs, ayat al-kursi, kalma tayyab, in fact everything that I remembered. Then I blew over my bag saying choo. Then after saying Bismillah, I realized that what they said was only too true. No one can erase what fate has decreed. Forget 4 rupees, there weren't even 4 paise in my bag. Just a few textbooks and notebooks, one pencil, one sharpener, one ID card my Mamu had sent me last ID. So after doing all the prayers, after reciting all the slogans of the Holy Quran, now he just opened the bag, imagining that there will be 4 rupees that is given by the God Almighty. But what was there inside his bag? They were the only they were we can see the only textbooks, notebooks, one pencil and one sharpener that was already there in his bag, and there was not a single penny in his bag. I felt like crying as loudly as I could, but then I remembered that school must have ended and all the children must be on their way home. Tired and defeated, I got up from here and walked to the bazaar and waited for the school bell to ring, so that when the children came out, I too could walk home with them as if I had come straight from school. Now the child has realized that the time is just running very fast, and he just have to reach his home as well, and nobody has found out that he just bunked the class. So right now what he has to do, he just have to be in front of the school, and after the school bell rings, he will also join his friends and he will directly go to his home like he's coming from his school. I didn't even realize that I was standing near the jalebi wala shop. Suddenly the halwai called out, "Kyan bhai, shall I weigh a rupee's worth? Don't want jalebis today?" I felt like saying I won't eat your jalebis today, but I would sure like to roast your liver and eat that instead. But I wasn't feeling too well that day, so I simply moved away. The next day I did the same thing. I got dressed and left home, went up to the school gate, and then turned off to the railway station. Under the same tree, I sat and began to say the same prayers. I repeatedly pleaded, Allah Mia, at least give it to me today. Today is the second day. Then I said, alright, come, let's play a game. I will go from here to that signal. You secretly place 4 rupees under this big rock. I'll touch the signal and come back. What fun it will be if I pick up the rock and find 4 rupees underneath. So are you ready? I'm going towards a signal. 1, 2, tree. So this incident happened in the second day. Second day also the child repeated the same thing. He just bunked the school and he just came to the railway station and sitting under the tree. And today he's planning a new deal with the God, and he is saying to God that today we can play a game. Let's play a game. What do you have to do? You just secretly place 4 rupees under this big rock nearby the tree, and I'll go and touch the signal and come back, and by that time you can do this. And when I'm coming back and picking up the rock, if I'm finding 4 rupees underneath, how lucky or how surprised I would be. So are you ready? And I'm gonna have to do the same. I went up to the signal and returned smiling, but I could not find the courage to pick up the rock. What if the coins were not there? But then I thought, what if they were? Finally, after saying Bismillah, when I lifted up the rock, this big hairy worm got up and curling and twisting wriggled towards me. I screamed and ran away once again, touched the signal. So after touching the signal, it was a deal. He will pick up the rock and he can find the 4 rupees. But actually what he had seen there, he had seen a very big hairy worm, and it was just curling and twisting underneath the rock, and the child got so much scared and he just screamed and he just ran away and touched the signal. Now we came to know that underneath the rock the child had seen the worm, and he was so scared seeing them and seeing it, and again he just ran away and touched the signal. Then crawling on my hands and knees, I reached a tree. I tried my best not to let my eyes stray towards the rock. But as I picked up my bag and was about to leave, I had to look once again at the rock. And do you know what I saw there? I saw Mr. Worm coiled on it comfortably, staring at me. So again, after reaching the rock, nearby the rock, after touching the rock, again the child is having the tendency to see on it. And what he had seen there, now the worm is not underneath the rock, it is just above the rock and staring at him. I walked away thinking tomorrow I will do wazu. Wazu means it is a washing of face and hands and feet before praying, and that is a Muslim word and Arabic word. And he has to wear clean clothes and come here. From morning to noon, I'll keep reading the namas. If even after that Allah doesn't give me 4 rupees, I'll be forced to learn how to strike bargains or make deals with him. So now the plan is to do the namas after doing wazu, and even after that Allah is not giving him money. What he will do, he will learn how to make a deal with God Almighty, how to bargain with him. After all, if my Allah does not give me 4 rupees, then who will? That day when I returned home, apparently from school and actually from the railway station, I was caught. The report of my absence had reached home. It is useless to relate what happened after that. So in this day, he was actually caught by his parents. His absence was noted in the school, and after that, whatever happened in the home, it is very clear. Well, whatever happened, happened. But up to the 7th or 8th standard, I kept wondering, if Allah Mia had sent me 4 rupees that day, what harm could it have possibly caused anyone? It was only later that I came to the conclusion that if Allah Mia were to provide all for the asking, then man would even today be living in the nest like vultures and crows and would not have learned the art of making jalebis. So even after many years of this instance, still the child is thinking about this instance, and he used to feel that why God Almighty hasn't given him just 4 rupees. It is not a great deal for God Almighty, and why he hasn't given me. And he is thinking that now he understood the actual meaning, and he came to the point that God Almighty will provide us the things that we are needed of. He will not satisfy all our greeds. He will satisfy only our needs. That is why man has learned to do many things. Otherwise, man will be alike like the other animals and other creatures in this world. So I hope you understood the essence of the lesson, and if you have any doubt, please do clarify at the earliest. Thank you.